Welcome back, everyone, to Talking It Out with Bachelor Nation. This week, the Bachelorette is back, ladies and gentlemen, and we are talking to everyone's favorite magician, Roby. We are very excited to talk to Roby, but before we get into all that, we got to do our hot takes. You know how we do, Mike. What you got, brother?
I want you to go first this week. Let's see it.
All right, my man. So here's the deal. Of course, it was the first episode of the season, and You know what that's all about. It's all about the limo entrances. So we're going to go over our top 5 best and worst limo entrances.
Yes,
all right, so I'll start first. Let's start with the bad first.
Let's do both 5 bad and then 5.
Yeah, let's do 5 bad first. Okay. I mean, this guy, John, mixed up their names. I don't know if that was on purpose.
It bet not.
Yes, it was memorable, I guess, if you look at it that way. But at the same time, bro, you're already in the hole there.
It bet not have been on purpose. If it was on purpose, I would never admit that. That's going to the grave.
Seriously, I really didn't like all the Clayton slander. I feel like anyone who used Clayton's name in their limo entrance, I thought that was whack. I don't know. I thought they could have been more creative than that. I don't know. That's just me.
Agree there. I think that I did like the one with the choir though. The choir was smooth. That was smooth.
He's actually on my list. He's separate on my list. Check this out.
The choir was good.
I love the choir. Those kids were on point. But I feel like the guy, when he got out of the limo, like he didn't match the energy. Like I expected more from the guy. I thought he was kind of like a dud, but the kids were on point. Does that make sense?
No, definitely so. But you know about that, I was thinking like, damn, if I'm Clayton, I'm like, damn, am I really that bad of a guy? Like, he ain't that bad of a guy. He ain't the worst guy in the world.
Listen, we all know what he did. He knows what he did. I think he's gotten beaten up enough.
No,
right?
He definitely has. I love though, and I'm one for. They wanted to say that. I think that was the wrong thing to do. I agree with you. But Susie and Clayton making that TikTok, singing the choir song, that was adorable.
Yeah. No, they're good sports for sure. Quincy hasn't had sex in 1.5 years. Called himself Prince.
Isn't Quincy from Miami?
Quincy's from Miami, bro.
What's up with your Miami dude?
Listen. Let's not talk about it.
It was a dude on Miami from Katie season 2.
From Carl from Katie season.
These Miami dudes ain't got no game. I thought Miami people had game. You're the only one. You represent.
And dude should have a mouthpiece because he's a life coach. So I'm sure he can inspire and do all kinds of stuff with that.
That. I want to know his story because my first thought I judged, I'm like, you 25 years old, you a life coach, homie? But then I was like, maybe he has an extremely compelling story. But then he said, intriguing, whatever the word that he was like really trying to hit home as well with. It's
intentional was the word. Yeah. I haven't had sex in 1.5 years. Like you can just see it all over Gabby and Rachel's faces. They were like, okay, TMI.
No, I love when Gabby was like, she said, well, that makes one of us.
No, Gabby is total comedic relief on the show for sure. And then the last one was Jason, who said that he loved 3 women. He like mentioned his mom, his sister, his dog. I don't know. That was kind of weird. I don't know if I would have gone that route. So those were my top worst 5. What about you?
The twins.
Yeah,
like,
twins.
The twins were just bad. They just completely. You want to talk about vanilla and mayonnaise, like just. And I'm sure they're great human beings. They're good-looking guys, tall guys. I'm sure they're wonderful human beings. But like, bruh, y'all were.
Honestly, I just don't think they match in that type of environment. I think it's tough for twins, especially when they do everything together. It's like they had no individuality.
I think that's what it was. It was like they were coming to say, "Hey, this is why we're different."
They were a package deal.
Yeah, it's because of that. I'm glad you said that because it's because of that, not because of strictly them in their individual selves.
Yeah.
The only other person I would definitely have put on my top 5 worst. Who was the dude that came up in like the blue man suit? I don't understand that. I don't understand that. Like, what was that?
Listen, if there's one thing I know,
I don't understand the gimmick.
I don't know. I have no
idea.
idea.
If you're gonna do a gimmick, at least let me understand. Like the guy with the 2 chicks, he's not in the top 5 worst because I understand the gimmick. He's talking to 2 chicks. He has 2 chicks. It was a terrible gimmick, but it wasn't the top 5 worst.
Correct. Honestly, man, like if there's one thing you should know about this show before you go on. People in costumes don't usually go far. Like I'm just gonna put that out there.
I did not know that, but I'm glad I do now.
Just if you're gonna dress in a costume, just know that you might go home a little earlier than expected.
Okay, now, Rodney. I remember Rodney from last season, Michelle's season. He had apple.
Yes. Rodney with the apple. That was clutch.
Sidebar, why hasn't Rodney got like an Apple deal yet? Not like he can get like an Apple deal with Apple Macintosh or Apple deal with like Granny Smith Apple. No.
Granny Smith. Yeah.
Sidebar.
For sure. He definitely needs a deal.
All right, let's get his top 5 best.
All right. My top 5 best.
Yes.
Avon. Avon is the one that mentioned Gabby's grandpa and Rachel's dad. Right there, that just got him brownie points, I thought.
I have a thought to that, though.
What's up?
I agree he was on my top 5 best for that same exact reason. But at the same exact time, isn't it kind of peculiar that you be doing all this history? It just makes me think like...
Doing a little reconnaissance mission over there.
Yeah, it makes me think you're doing too much reconnaissance on me. Like, I liked it. I thought he did great with it, but at the same time, that thought crosses my mind.
I mean, but listen, did he have to do too much reconnaissance? Because honestly, that just means he may have just watched the previous season.
May have.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he got the names. I don't know. I just thought it was endearing, kind of got him a couple brownie points. I thought the Jordan H guy with the earmuffs, I thought that was unique.
I'll put, what do you call it? Air quotes, cute. That was cute.
Yeah.
That was cute, for sure.
One that I thought was hilarious was the football coach. And it wasn't so much him as the football coach. It was the music that they put in the background, like this inspiring music. I thought that was pretty funny. I actually laughed out loud. The meatball guy, the meatball sub.
No. How is he? I don't get it.
Listen,
I don't get that one.
Come on. I just give him points for difficulty. Like, how the hell did he walk around with that thing? That was pretty impressive, getting out of that limo.
I give him it was impressive, but he got 32 balls on there? Like, I don't understand it. I just don't get it. I don't.
Gabby with the ball jokes after that. That was pretty dope.
Yeah.
And then let's see. Spencer, just very gentlemanlike. He brought the chairs out for them to sit on. I don't know.
I like that one.
When I think of best, I just thought, hey, charming, cute, made an impression. Nothing too over the top. Well, except Meatball Guy,
I like Mario. I would have added him to that list.
Mario, what did he do again?
Mario was he was smooth. He was charismatic. He came out.
Did he dance?
Okay, he came out the 1-2 step with it. He was just smooth with it. I thought that was really cool. Most people come out extremely nervous, myself included. He didn't come across nervous. He may have been nervous. I don't know. But I like the way that he came out there, and he got a first impression role. So
yeah,
he did something right. So I would have definitely added Mario to that list of top 5 best for sure. Okay. And I mean, I thought the idea was fantastic. I don't think the execution was. My man that came out there shirtless, with the long hair, looking like Fabio.
Yeah,
I think that he played
total
it
Fabio looked
wrong.
like.
But the thought was there.
Wait, he played it wrong. How would you have played it?
Well, first off, I don't know. I just wouldn't have done it. I wouldn't have done it. But I think that Jacob, that's his name. It's like when someone has a really awesome fit, but the shoes just whack. It's like, come on, you had it. Oh, and then you just messed it up right here. That's what Jacob did for me. And the thought was there. I really like the thought behind it.
I mean, and he came on the horse. I mean, it was,
it was very
that
romantic.
night gets. You know how cold that night gets towards the end of the season. Gabby couldn't take her eyes off his nipples because they were
about to say, Gabby
hard
was
as a rock.
It was so hard.
I mean, it was distracting. I get it. I get it, Gabby. I get it.
I will say, I was waiting. I mean, the opportunity there was perfect. And part of me, I feel this way because of what your mother said. Shout out to Miss Olga. What's your mother? No, Olga. She's going to get mad if I say Miss. Olga. She said she knew that you were in love when you hugged Rachel and her both.
Oh, somebody did do that. I remember that.
Someone did that? I don't remember that. I think that's what they should have done.
He hugged both of them, I believe. It wasn't like an individual hug to each, but that's not what you're talking about.
No, I think that he should have, if he hugged both, I think that was smooth.
Okay.
Not a hug, not trying to bring you in because I'm bigger than you, but more like, hey, I don't know who to hug first because let's say you and I were the Bachelors, right?
Yeah.
And is there a thought in one's mind that okay, you hug this person first? I would hope not. I would think if you and I were, that wouldn't be the case, but it could come up.
To do it, does the person like you better than me or vice versa?
Yeah, it could come up. And then I just wouldn't want that. That's what I would be thinking. Because I told you when we were on Clickbait, shout out to Clickbait, I personally, first day, I don't know who I like first day, right? After the first day, we might can see what the conversations go. So I would have just hugged both of them at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it would have mattered who.
It probably would.
100%. I mean, like we talked about on Clickbait. For me personally, I feel like I would be attracted to one and more than the other.
So when you say that, what you are saying, Bryan, is that you would have been attracted to one based upon their way that they look.
No.
I watched the previous
season. Yeah,
okay,
I know their personality.
Okay, I'll give you that.
I just feel like
I didn't watch the previous season of Hannah.
Okay. I just feel like my vibe, my personality. I think we would get along more, and I would just want to explore that relationship. Not that I wouldn't get to know the other one, but like if it didn't work out with the main one, I just don't know if I would go to the other one. I don't know. That would just
see, we're gonna have to get into that outside of hot takes, but I agree with you there. Like, I would have to self-eliminate. Like if I went all in on one,
yes.
Is this a prediction that we're having? Will there be a lot of self-eliminations?
Possibly. I mean, you saw a lot of guys say, "Hey, I'm here for you."
You did,
right? I came here for you. So it's like, are those guys going to flip now and go if it
doesn't
work out?
That's the worst thing. Exactly. You can't just be flipping out here.
You can't be caught saying I'm here for you, and then all of a sudden, you're here for somebody else at the end of the day.
Because that's going to make both of them like, send your ass home. That just don't. That's not good. That's not good at all.
Seriously. All right, man. What you got?
So for my hot take, man, I got to ask you: do Bachelor-style dates work in the real world? And what I mean by that is this vulnerability from like within 15 minutes of knowing this individual. I say no. And I say no because I recently did this, and I'm talking about myself. And y'all know I'm real. I'm talking bad about myself. I did this, went on a date with a girl, like date 2. I'm over here telling her everything, right? I remember I was drunk and I was like, look, this is what I want out of life. This is what I want a wife. I went all in, right?
She's like, check, please.
No, she's like, check, please, like, check out, not check in. And so it has me thinking. And I was watching the very first episode, and within 15 minutes of knowing these ladies, do these Bachelor-style dates work in real life? I say no. What about you?
I mean, I'm going to agree with you. I mean, I want to disagree with you just to make it interesting, but... Yeah, I mean, unless you're like in a speed dating type situation, which those do exist. Like you sit at a round table, there's like 15 men, 15 women. You know what I mean? And
I think
they
I need
all,
that now.
Huh?
After going on this show, man, I think I need to go on a speed date.
Like you literally sit down with the person for like 5 minutes. You talk it all out. And if you're interested, I don't know, maybe you exchange numbers. I don't really know how it works. I've never done it. But in a normal setting, yeah, you're not going to talk about, all those intricate subjects on night one. It's just too much.
It's too much. There was a guy, and the reason I thought about this after watching last night, it was Gabby and one of the guys, and their conversation was just so adorable. It wasn't about nothing deep. They just wanted to see, and I think this is a great first step. See if our banter is on the same level.
Yes.
That I feel like within the Bachelor franchise is overlooked at times. Not all the time, but at times. Like to me, that's just the equivalent as, can I go deep with you?
Yeah.
I need to know I have that banter with you.
That's like the icebreaker, right? In order for you to go deeper. I mean, I had that with Rachel. I mean, we were, dapping each other and kind of going back and forth with each other. And
vital. That's huge. It's underrated. It's an underrated thing that we don't talk about enough.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, in the real world, that's tough, man.
I'm telling you, it don't work. I did it, and I embarrassed myself. Like, in retrospect, looking back, I'm like, what the hell was I thinking, Mike?
So what was her reaction, though?
We were good. We kept going on dates, but after the times, we kept going. I'm like, what am I doing? Like, I'm acting like I was just
back on the show.
Yeah, like I was talking shit about myself. I talk shit about other people. Best believe I talk shit about myself. And I was like, Mike, I was like coaching myself. Like, what are you doing, bro? Like, just talk shit with the girl. Just get to know the girl. You know what I mean? You ain't got to be like telling her your life story from moment one.
Time out. I got to know more about this. Was she as open with you, or was she like, whoa, that's too much, Mike?
I think she tried to be, but I feel that sometimes when you try to be respectful to someone and you just learn who they are, or you just starting to get to know who they are, you may not be as forthcoming with like, bro, you are wild. Like, calm all that down.
So she opened the door a little bit, but she didn't give you everything.
Yeah, she opened the door, and I agree with everything she did, honestly. This is on me of going wrong, I feel. She opened the door, but she was like, bro, like, homie, I ain't trying to go this deep with you right now. I'm just trying to see, can I laugh with you? Can we watch, Stranger Things? I don't know. Like, can we chill and we chill. And to me, I found that on The Bachelor, Bachelorette, Bachelor in Paradise, maybe not as much Bachelor in Paradise, but Bachelorette, it's more of, I only get 15 minutes with you. I'm going to tell you everything in this 15 minutes. And then I'm going to steal you away for somebody else, and I'll get 15 more minutes with you.
I mean, how do you feel about this? Because I've always thought, and at least from my experience, like I feel like the amount of emotional energy that you put forth on the show, it's the amount that you would give in like a 6-month relationship, right? Absolutely. You've been dating somebody for a way longer time than you're actually on the show. Like it might have been 2 months in time, but it's like you're way deep into it, you know, by the end of it, as far as the emotional energy expended.
I agree. Now, with that being said, everyone's different, right?
Yeah.
I feel that, especially after coming on this show, I could match someone's energy. 100%. If you want to go faster, shit, that's what he called me Usain Bolt. I'm right there. You know, you want to slow it down a bit? Cool, we can do cool runnings. You know, I don't know why I said that.
Shout out to Cool Runnings, the Jamaican bobsled team.
I got Jamaica on my head right now.
Random reference that was. Love it.
But seriously though, I find that in the real world, it's okay, and I think it's best to start off with banter and then slowly work your way into deeper conversations. Because also, someone may feel that if you're going this vulnerable with me off the bat, am I special, or you just do this with everyone?
Yeah. Well, here, let me ask you this. Does age matter in that situation? Like, what if somebody that you're dating, you know, has had their life experiences, maybe they've obviously been in a serious relationship, been married, been divorced or whatnot. Like they kind of know what they want, so they want to be at your same level, and like they want to cut to the chase.
That's a great point. This young lady was 25. I'm 34. And
so she's still living life. She just wants to have fun.
First off, record, I'm still living life. Right. Hey, judge, make sure that's on the record. But yeah, I get what you're saying completely. Okay, she's still having fun. She's doing her thing, as am I. But I'm kind of serious. You know, I'm pretty much, hey, let's get it going.
Because now that I think back, I mean, when I confronted Rachel, I was like, I'm here for this. Like, I want this. Like,
I did that, bro. That's what I did. I got drunk and did it. That's exactly what I said. I was like, yo, this, and this. This is what I want. This is what I need. This is what I'm looking for.
So see, maybe it depends on who you're telling it to, right? Rachel, professional, 31. She was ready for what she wanted. You know, maybe there's a different reaction if she was a little older.
Or a little bit younger. I agree.
Or a little bit
but
younger,
at the same time, I hate utilizing age because everyone's experiences are so different. My first and only love, I was 24 and 25 right after, right? And it was the thing. You know, I was ready for it all. Some 24, 25-year-olds may not be ready.
Yeah.
It's just about experience, age, what they've been through. They say that issues are in tissues, right? Meaning that the issues that we have are deep embedded in our tissue, within our body. And so therefore, if we haven't worked through it, then therefore we may not be ready for it. And so I think that depending on your experience within life, and then also depending on, have you grown through some things or have you not gone through some things?
Absolutely. Yeah. Life experience is extremely important. I agree.
Life experiences, but also, have you forgiven some things, and have you accepted some things? Like it's
maturity, self-awareness,
all those things taking place. But then at the same time, still, you just got to be able to have fun. I don't care if we both 48 and just got out of a relationship or a marriage, right? We have 18-year-olds. Like, can I still banter with you? Can I still have fun with you? And I loved seeing that on the show. On this first episode, I'm trying to highlight with Gabby and Rachel both some of those dates that they went on, and it's weird calling them dates, but some of those dates that they went
one-on-ones, the one-on-one time.
To me, it's weird saying, one-on-one time. Yeah, I'll say that. Because I think one-on-one is like a one-on-one date. But the one-on-one time, I love when they were just not going too deep. They were just trying to feel each other out. And to me, that was what it was all about.
And think about it. I mean, the two guys, it was a Tino and Mario. I mean, the guys that got the one-on-one rose, you know, they did something cute. They made them laugh. Like, it was very lighthearted.
Yeah, lighthearted.
But at the same time, they made a great impression. So, yeah, that's the way to do it, man.
Talking about them great impressions, though. Today, we have Roby on. Can't wait to see Roby. I want to see, can he do a magic trick with us on Talking It Out right here, right now. But I want to ask him about that hot take as well. Let's talk it out with Roby.
Let's do it. Welcome, Roby, to the show, man. How you doing today?
Doing well. Thank you, Bryan. I'm happy to be here. Hi, Mike. I'm just doing well, a little bit hungover, but good.
So it seems like you had a good night last night watching the premiere with your friends.
I mean, a good night, a bad night, depends how you qualify that. It's like a large group of my friends all watching me get rejected on national TV. So you know how it goes.
That's fair. But Twitter loves you, man. How was that?
It's pretty nice. I'm personally not a Twitter user, but my one of my good friends is, and he's like, you got to see this, you got to see this, you got to see this. And so there was some even Caitlin Bristow posted on Twitter, justice for the Magic King. So
hey, justice for the Magic King.
There you go, man.
That legend.
That. Listen, there have been stories of night one departures, blowing up big. A la our good friend over at Clickbait, Grocery Store Joe. So
he's not.
You never know, man.
Anymore.
You never know.
You never know.
He's not Grocery Store Joe anymore.
Roby, night one guy is in a Maybelline commercial. It could be you.
Seriously.
It could be me.
It could be you.
All right, Roby. So before we get started, man, we want to actually get your thoughts on our little segment that we call Hot Takes. And
yes.
Mike and I were discussing before you came on about if the Bachelor type of speed dating where, the vulnerability and the honesty is really up front and in your face early on. Do you feel like that could exist in the real world, or you could do that in the real world?
Well, two things. First of all, my experience on the show was I was on a date with two women instead of one, and I didn't get a chance to really have a one-on-one with one woman. And so that was kind of just awkward from the get-go, because it's like if I want to flirt with like one or the other, you can't really do that when you're in that conversation with both of them. So I haven't really had that full like, hey, I got 5 minutes by myself with you and I want to like see how it goes.
It's a good point.
That being said, speed dating does exist in the real world, and that is a real thing. I mean, I see like ads for it sometimes online, and I know friends who have done that. And, I know people who have fallen in love at first sight, and are married with kids. So, I mean, I think it's possible for sure.
How was that with dating on your date with Rachel and Gabby? Was there one woman that you were kind of leaning towards more that you wanted to go to, or just kind of trying to flip both of them out?
I was just trying to figure them both out. It's like you're there for like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and it's like there are obviously very beautiful, charming women, both intelligent and kind women as well. But you don't know if the chemistry is there until it hits, right? And it just kind of takes a little bit of time, If you're by yourself, it's like one little extra lingering gaze, one little extra moment of je ne sais quoi is kind of what's important. I don't know.
I'm sorry to cut you off. I just had to, give you your props.
Oh, well, I'm half French, so I'm French. Side note, speaking of, I seen the promos that they went to Europe. I'm like, really? And you're not going to keep the guy for French passport?
Damn it, I missed out.
Well, I mean, Roby, you've already been there. Let the other guys go. Some of them haven't even been.
That's true. But like, I just, I could have been ordering the food for everybody.
Yeah, he hasn't been there with Rachel and Gabby, though. You know what I'm saying?
Very true.
That's very different.
Okay, so, we have it that it was a bit awkward. And some of the other guys we heard talk about that as well. Like, you don't know which one you kind of leaning towards per se. How do you feel now after watching the show? It's finally aired. You're with your friends, you said. How does that feeling is?
Honestly, I feel like I gave off a pretty solid impression. It could have been better. It could have been worse. I think I didn't come out as a douche, which is good, because I know a lot of people leave that show looking like as such.
I would definitely have told you if you're a douche. You're perfectly fine.
Well, thank you. I do wish, honestly, just as a magician, like, for example, the trick that I was doing for them inside the room, there's only actually the first half of that trick, and the second half is really the important part. So I kind of wish that had existed.
Wait, which one are you talking about? You're talking about the watch and the card, or?
No, the card. Basically, card trick that I do where I forgot it was Rachel or Gabby. Let's say it's Rachel. She chooses a card. I rub it on my pants. Now her card is blue instead of red. And then I place that card under a cup or a drink. And then I had the other girl choose a card. And then now her card is suddenly under the drink. That's the real moment. It's not just a little color change, which is important. So, like I have there's Roby dating Roby, but there's also like Roby professional magician, and I'm like finicky about the magic side of things.
What do you mean by finicky about the magic side of things?
It's just, it's like, I mean, it's just I care, it's like it's my love and it's my passion. It's what I do. So, it's like if I do that, I just want that to be seen in the best way possible, and I just want the world. If I'm gonna share what I love, I really want to share it.
Oh, completely understand that. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Was there talk about that magic trick? Was there a meaning behind it? Because I remember the watch came out, which was pretty dope. I liked it. I kind of am a little hater because I wish I could do magic, right? And I think it's always cool to see it. Tell me about the process of deciding on that magic trick and why that magic trick for Gabby and Rachel.
So again, I know it's, time is everything on the show, right? And we're short on time. And I mean, pun intended, it is a trick with a watch, so I just wanted to use the best make the best of the short time I had there. And so I was like, and honestly, again, like I am a magician, that's what I do, but I'm not there to do magic. I mean, it's like a meatball enthusiast is going to show his meatballs, Adonis is going to ride on his horse. I get that. But, so I'm going to do my stuff too, because that's who I am. But I'm actually really there more so to meet the girls and talk with the guys and just, potentially find love and go on that journey. So I just didn't want to like linger on the magic for so much, but it is a large part of me, and I think it's important to show it.
It seems like the other guys, because I remember there was a moment where like the guys were talking about the whole magic thing, like if the act would dry up or whatnot. I mean, do you wish like you could have shown another side of you, or did you just not have enough time?
I'm just like, well, the one guy said, speaking of, the one guy said the hot take of, like the gimmick of magic's going to last only so long. And I'm like, you're the guy who's been shirtless all day. Like, how long is that gimmick lasting,
Hey, I like that. That's
very
good.
True, very true.
I knew I liked you, Roby. That's good. That's a great comeback. Like, dude, you're shirtless. What are you talking about?
That's the thing. Like, you're like literally like cringing by the fire because it's cold.
I did see him curled up around the fire. That was pretty funny.
Oh, Roby, this is about you. We want to get to know you. Can we go a step back?
Let's go.
Why did you even decide to go on the show?
Honestly, I was in a 5.5-year relationship, which ended say a year and a half ago, and maybe or 2 years ago, somewhere around there. And I believe it or not, I was on a dating app. And I guess I was found through the dating app, and I was contacted on Instagram by the casting team, and they're like, hey, are you interested in this? And I was like, sounds interesting. Like, what? Let's go for that ride. It could be fun. I had gone once on a date with a girl who years and years ago who'd been on The Bachelor, and she had been super sweet.
You got to drop the name, bro. You got to drop the name. Who is she?
That was Samantha Char. She was like way back. I remember she came in her show because we're going on the date. I watched her episodes of The Bachelor to like see who I was going on a date with, because I think people are probably gonna do this to me now too. But
welcome to the real world now.
She was like a pageant girl and come out with the pageant like sash and stuff. She was super sweet. And that being said, we did share a kiss that night, and she did give me the like run and jump. So even though I didn't get
she jumped into your arms.
I got the run and jump, the official like Bachelor Nation run and jump. So I did have it once with somebody in Bachelor Nation, and so at least I got that going.
So you just so scared me right now. Like now I'm gonna think, look, Roby, we're not friends no more, man. Now every time I go on a date, I'm gonna be thinking, is this girl going to one day say I went on a date from the guy from The Bachelor? I'm so scared now.
That's exactly what's going to happen. Mike Johnson from The Bachelor.
I'm terrified.
Yeah, I mean, but they're going to say that, or they're going to say another thing. They're going to say I went on a date with the magician. They're going to go, hey, I went on a date with the tall guy. Whatever it is.
So were you a fan before the show, or were those the only episodes that you watched when you dated that girl back in the day?
I had seen like a couple episodes of that one, and then I had seen like randomly when I had been in a relationship, I had been invited to watching parties of like random like not official watching parties, but just like these are a bunch of girls having wine and like come and join us. I'm like, okay. And so I'd seen that before. Side note, this is important, I forgot to add this. I was not contacted for this season. I was originally contacted for Katie's season. So I was supposed to be on Katie's season.
What happened there?
Without going into too much of the details of it, basically Uh, I COVID happened basically, and so I was not able to go because of COVID.
Were you happier to go on this season than you would have been to go on Katie's season?
Honestly, I feel like as it is, you know, maybe Katie and I, our personalities would have meshed better. I feel like we were closer in kind of the type of interactions that we do and the kind of humor and our thoughts on the world from what I know. But
Roby.
honestly, I haven't met the ladies, so I can't say for sure.
Roby, we might be able to
well, she's single.
Make magic happen. She is single now. I mean, she is single. Let's put that out in the universe.
It's possible.
He said it's possible. Fair enough. So he said it's possible.
San Diego's not so far away from Los Angeles, you know?
What'd you say?
I said San Diego's closer to Los Angeles than Florida.
Couple hours.
There. Hey, okay, so let's say this. Katie's listening. What do you say to her right now?
Honestly, I had randomly had a conversation with John on the phone through a friend of mine, and he was super lovely to me. So I don't want to say anything. I know that they're going through something, and I wish them the best. I think she's a beautiful, wonderful woman, but I think they both need to heal right now.
The magic man with the T right here.
I'm trying to tell. Well, how? What? Like, bro, how do you just randomly have a conversation with John?
It's just randomly. He turns out to like be family friends with like one of my best friends, and they're like, "Hey, you should just doing this thing, have a conversation with this guy." And he was nothing but sweet. So
wait, did John give you advice going on the show?
Just a little bit, just un poquito.
Un poquito. Sí.
Poquito.
What was the advice?
What was the advice? Just be yourself, be natural. It's a whirlwind, you know, like just like try to hold on. You're in a tornado. You don't know where it's going to take you, but, you know, hopefully you don't kill a witch in the process.
Well, Fro, this was not what Bryan nor I intended, but I have to. You were trying to be respectful and sweet to John, which I think John's a great human being. I really do. But then you also, and previously has said that Katie would be, you know, somebody that you would holler at. You barely know John. The bro code is if I know you as a homie, but you don't even know John like that. So you still want to go holler at Katie?
Well, he seems like more of like an acquaintance, not necessarily like a homie.
It's, you know, the world is strange. Let's see what happens with the world.
All is fair in love and war.
I love it.
Yeah.
No, I love that.
So wait, so speaking of like your friends and your family, like what did they think about you going on the show? Did they think you were crazy? Did they think you didn't need this? What was going on there?
They were like, you know what? You have fun. You know, I come from an artistic family. You know, like my mom has an Instagram where she called the Masked Hatter, where basically she started during the pandemic, where she wears masks and cool hats, and like that's like her thing. She like one every day.
She go viral.
I mean, ish, like it's like viral for like the Upper West Side, New York, but like not internationally viral. But she comes from there. My dad's an artist painter, and you know, honestly, it's like my mom was like, "You do it." She's like, "I don't want to do hometowns." My sister's like, "I don't want to do hometowns." But my dad, who's like this crazy kooky French painter, is like, "Yes, have them come. Maybe I'd paint them. It'd be fantastic." And so, you know, like he would have won. Another reason, if I had been in Europe, you know, hometowns would have been really close for me. You know, he's actually living in Brussels now. Could have just stopped by over there. You know, had some beer, had a good time.
Roby, paint a picture for us. What would have hometowns look like for you?
What would hometowns look like for me? Honestly, it's not so much about the hometown. It's about the chance of being one-on-one, continuing those conversations, getting to know that person.
This guy needs to be back on the show. I'm loving you.
Who knows, man? People have gone on multiple seasons.
We'll see.
Okay, so what'd you do at Bachelor in Paradise? Because I'm about to start a campaign for you.
100%. Just give me like 3 months notice so I can get the abs back. Because
me and you both.
Hey,
like they were there for the show. I'm not quite at like the level of some of the other guys, but like it's like I was not eating the week before the show. But
Roby, you got to stay ready so you don't have to get ready.
There you go.
That is the motto.
Yeah. Roby, this is coming from a guy who like his abs are impeccable. They look better than Batman. And so don't even listen to Bryan. We're not going to be able to get on that level, Roby. It's like it just won't happen. But I got to know. So you. Going back, you know, you said your sister and your mom were like, look, I ain't trying to be a part of the hometown. My father said that as well, so I understand that. What was like your initial reaction finding out that Gabby and Rachel both will be the Bachelorettes this season. Is that scary for you?
It was not scary. It was more well, first of all, just I like statistics, and if you think about it, if you're going to a house with like 35 guys and one girl, you got like a 1 out of 35 chance. Just by having 2 women, you already double your statistics of finding love chances. It's two out of 35, so you're in a little bit of a better place. So I was interested in that, and I also went into it when I was being interviewed and talking about the show. People will be like, do you think like you're going to go there and find love? And what I said is I'm cautiously optimistic, like I'm not somebody who's like, I am for sure going to find love, or I know that this is going to be the person. Cause it's like, I've gone on like so many dating app dates and, it's like statistically, it's not so many of them hit hard. So it's like, will this happen with that person? And I'm like, you know what? Again, as I said before, both beautiful, charming women, and statistically, like you're just doubling your odds. And I was open to it, optimistic. It didn't happen, unfortunately. But
dude, I am like you.
Thank you.
Were you attracted initially to one over the other? Like, I mean, I know we talked about this earlier, but did you have were you intentional in going after one, or were you just open to both?
I was open to both. I think that Gabby and I meshed a little bit more on the humor sense of things, and I think that's very important. But this is a thing I said, and it's kind of funny. It's like you have literally a cheerleader, nurse, and like a pilot, and that is like 90% of the porn I watched when I was 14.
You and Katie definitely need to meet each other.
Yes, definitely.
Oh God,
definitely.
I am. This is my guy right here. This guy's hilarious. I love you. Can we just take a moment? I'm over in silence for that. I'm loving that. So you met her both. We know what they do for a living. Your 14-year-old self is definitely in love with both of their career choices. What did you think after meeting them?
Again, it was so fast. It was a whirlwind. I thought that they were super nice, super lovely. I wish I'd gotten to know them better,
Like, where do you feel things went wrong? The fact that you went home night one, I mean...
I think the biggest issue was the fact that I had a 1-on-2. And again, it's like, if you're in that situation and the power's in their hands, and it's like, I don't know which one of them liked me more and which one didn't. And, I guess they didn't know which one of them I liked more and didn't. And so, if you're sitting with somebody one-on-one, you can kind of, like I said, feel that chemistry or not. But when you're dealing with 2 people, you can't really be putting on the moves. It's like not like I'm going to be having a conversation with 2 people and then just reach over and grab one of their hands, because that would just be like awkward as fuck.
Yeah.
Am I allowed to curse on this?
I mean, Roby,
yeah, sure. Why not?
So why not?
Talk it out here.
Some people do it, Roby. You can curse them.
Some people, just a few. I'll have 3 for the entire interview. Just so I have 1 and got 2 more at some random point.
You're perfectly fine with the French words. So we mean this in the nicest way possible. But Roby, I have to know, does your magic usually play well with the ladies?
Is that your go-to? What we saw on TV?
Honestly, first of all, I had so much magic ready down the line, which was actually the magic. Like the stuff
we missed out. We missed out on all the magic, Mike.
You missed out on fun stuff. You missed out on. I do a thing. I eat nails. And I was like planning. I was just imagining just eating. Like being in the room with the guys, and the guys being like, "Oh, like they're on a date with blah 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 blah. I wonder what they're doing." And I've just been there eating my nails casually, like nails, like hardware, like this type of nail, not like fingernails, and I just thought that would have been fun. And I had this amazing trick basically where I light a candle and then, I can keep my hand in the flames. Then I would ask the Bachelorette to put her hands in the flames, and it's obviously too hot. But then if I grabbed her other hand, she could keep her hands in the flames.
Oh, bro, I would have loved to see that one.
We missed out, man. America missed out.
Could you make the line you could have said with that would have been phenomenal.
Right?
Yeah.
Could you make guys disappear? Like, could you have played a prank that we could have seen later on down the line where you fucked with these guys at all?
That's I think that's like that's more of a mafia trick than a magic trick.
There you go.
There you go. Mafia trick.
So what went through your mind, dude, when obviously they came through? Jesse's like, listen, the rose ceremony is canceled. Did you think you were in trouble at that point?
I didn't. I didn't. You know, I went into this kind of, again, this is, I hate like bragging about myself, but me and this other guy were the two tallest guys there. I like felt pretty good about the physique.
Are you and Nate the same height?
Yeah, I think we were both 6'4".
Okay, so y'all same. Okay, yeah. Okay.
And which is funny because I was like reading the comments when people looked at my original picture and they're like, "Oh, this Hobbit." I'm like, "I'm 6'4". I'm not Hobbit.
They called you the Hobbit.
It's a part of it now, man. You guys gotta laugh at that stuff. I'm 5'7" online apparently.
It's just kind of funny. But I also, from what I know, I was the most educated there too. I mean, I graduated from Princeton. You know, like it was like I felt like I had a lot to offer. You know, and like I speak fluent French, so I went in pretty confident, and I thought the magic went well. You know, I read a lot of books, as you can see.
Oh wow, yeah. Roby, you are so interesting. I want to go back, right? Pre-Bachelor, pre to being 6'4", being speaking French, pre being a hobbit to some people's eyes, and being all these different things.
All right, so I'm in the womb.
Yeah, we start like a couple years after that.
Fast forward.
Right.
Just like a quick glimpse of your life.
Like how did you grow up? Like what was your upbringing like?
So I grew up in kind of a weird mixture of New York, Los Angeles, France. I had kind of a bi-coastal mom for work, and my father, they separated when I was like around 11, and he moved back to France. So I was just kind of bouncing around everywhere. Going to all my schooling prior to college was in French schools. So I went to Lycée Français de New York and then Lycée Français de Los Angeles. The biggest change being I went from a blue tie to a red tie. I have a sister who was a fairly successful actress back in the day. She's completely out of that world now, and she's just a loving mom, and probably doesn't even want me talking about her right now because she just wants to not be in that public eye anymore. But that being said, because of her being in the public eye when I was a child, I got to kind of spend all this time traveling to movie sets with her and having weird experiences where like I was living in the Czech Republic for 3 months, and kind of like being with a tutor and going on these crazy journeys and going back to horsing, like it was like going back to horses. Sorry. The question is like, what am I going to do for 3 months in the Czech Republic? There was like a stunt riding training academy, like right out of Praha. And like, that was one of like the places where they spoke the best English. So I'm like, I'm going to go and do that for 3 months, And so a lot of cool, weird, bizarre journeys and advantages. And I don't know, kind of, honestly, I've had a pretty good life, not really a sob story to say.
Well, I'm glad you said that because I find that so many times when people come onto a reality show, it's almost that we want as the audience to hear what that sob story is. But I find it really fascinating when someone is not necessarily has a sob story, but someone that is well cultured at such a young age as you are. And by being so cultured as you are, Roby, do you find that it's hard to interact with people at times, or do you find that it's way easier because you know so many different types of people?
It's a bit of both. That's an excellent question. I've described myself before as a chameleon, and that sounds so cheesy, and I kind of hate it, but it's also kind of true because I've always, I've been too nerdy to be a jock and too jockey to be a nerd, and, like too artistic to be a tech guy and too techy to be the artist. And I'm always a little bit, I have a 1 foot in each side. And so it's like, you can put me with the broest of bros and I will hang out with them and bro it hard, or you can put me at the Dungeons and Dragons convention and I'll be there as well, but I'll never fully be that main stereotypical version of whatever it is that is.
So speaking of a chameleon, like how did you get along with the rest of the guys? Like, did you make friends off the show? I mean, did you connect with them in any way?
Honestly, all the guys were like, I went into it being like, who's going to be the villain? And, I don't know what's going to happen in further episodes, but every guy I met there was super nice, super charming, super kind. I had a blast hanging out with them. And I feel like I could have made some really good friends if I had been around for longer. But again, it was so short. I actually got along really well with the twins. They were really funny and sweet, and we had a lot in common.
Well, you had a lot of common in both going home. I'm sorry. I had to say it.
I
had to.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Yeah. I mean, we were stuck in the angry limo ride together at home. Everybody was sweet. Everybody was kind. I got no negativity to say about anyone.
I want to go into the magic because you are a full-time musician. Is this correct?
Yes, sir.
Awesome. You gotta call me sir, homie. I appreciate it though. So one of my friends, he was a bachelor, Peter Weber. He did some magic. I'm sure you can like Dustin with your magic since you do this full time. And you actually might be the very first magician to grace our screens. When did you start to learn magic, and when did you know that you wanted to do this full time?
I think, first of all, it's funny. I think I am the first magician on it. 2 seasons back, or 3 seasons back, I was watching it. The season before Katie's season, I was watching it, and some guy came out in a straitjacket. And I'm like, God damn it, another magician. And then he just stayed in the straitjacket the entire night. I'm like, oh.
That was it. That was a trick.
Yeah.
That was a trick. But honestly, magic, it's everybody has the same story. It's, everybody has received that box of magic as a child, and magicians are those who didn't put that box away. Because, there's all been a Christmas or a Hanukkah or Kwanzaa where somebody's received like that box. And I'm sure you both have had that box at some moment in your life, and or a trick deck or whatever, but I just continued with it my entire life and just always loved it. And it was kind of a hobby and a passion, which somehow turned into a job. And I've had wonderful opportunities because of it. I've got to travel around the world. I've got to perform in amazing places such as, Rwanda, the Great Wall of China. I've got to work for David Blaine. I went on 2 national 40-city tours with David Blaine.
Nice.
That's awesome.
I've got to do some movie consulting as well for it. So I was actually like the sleight of hand consultant for the latest Harley Quinn movie.
So was there like a point where you knew it's like, holy shit, like I'm good at this? Like, what was that like one like light bulb moment in your magic career?
It's kind of I don't know, but it's like one moment. It's just like a slow progression. It's a slow build up. You get all that information, and then when does that confidence come from? I'm like, you're a doctor, right?
Yeah.
And it's like probably the first when you started, like probably in your undergrad when you were pre-med, you were, you knew a little bit more about health than the average bear. But it's once you start learning those questions, people start asking you for medical advice, right? And there's probably there's a lot of moments where you're like, I don't really know. And then suddenly there's that moment kind of where you start to having more I knows than I don't know. And it's not really an instantaneous moment, but just kind of all those times connecting together and creating.
And practice, basically, you repetitive practice, yeah.
That 10,000 hours of work,
Serious, 10,000 hours, serious thing. Do you have a favorite magician?
That's, it's people like to say that, and it's, a mentalist is not an escape artist. An escape artist is not a close-up guy. It's a coin guy, is not really a card guy. Luckily, I've been privileged again to spend a lot of time with David Blaine and, learn a lot through osmosis, and kind of, honestly, he's a huge inspiration for me. And so I've been very lucky to kind of meet my inspiration. Like watching his special Street Magic on TV as a kid was probably one of the things that really pushed me into being a magician and just loving it. So I gotta say, he's a favorite. He's also the magician who's paid me the most in my life, so he's the favorite for that too. When your rent is covered from somebody hiring you,
I don't know I don't know if people have seen this, but I'm sure you've seen the clip where he's around all the celebrities and the frogs come out of his mouth. How? What the hell is that? How is that
I know
done?
all the things.
Do you know how that's done? Like, the intricacies of that trick?
Yeah, I do. It's like I was living on the tour bus with the frog. Like the frogs were there. Like we were hanging out.
Awesome.
And this is very important. This was very important to say. The frogs. No one has ever died from doing that. No one has ever been hurt, and everybody's always afraid of that. Nothing. And those are spoiled frogs. Like every day, like fresh crickets for them. We went, like they were in like a container. Like we need them to have a nicer container. And then randomly we found, I actually befriended this woman who was in charge of like this like natural history museum. Like she's doing the like exhibits there. And so I'm like, hey, we need like a cool container. And so this lady literally built us this amazing museum quality, like portable aquarium type thing for the frogs. Those are some cool frogs. They've had some spoiled.
Those are some cool. Those are some cool frogs.
It's fun.
Wow. Is there a trick that you've seen? And when I say trick, I'm talking about everything under the umbrella, right? that you've seen that you said, how the hell? And you just can't get it yet.
Like that's next level type shit right there.
Yeah, it's, I'm at that point where 98% of time I see magic and I know immediately how it's done. And then the 2% of time, it's not that I am really, really fooled, but it's more so that I'm like kind of just missed a beat somewhere, But I love being fooled. It's wonderful. That's why Penn and Teller had that show Fool Us. It's just wonderful to like, when you know it so well, to like have something hit you in a way you didn't expect. I like to harken it to like if you're a ballet dancer and you're watching a ballet, like I might be like, oh, that's a beautiful jump, or that's a thing, but like somebody else would be like, oh, that pas de deux, blah 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 blah. And so it's interesting. There's a different artistic appreciation that comes about than the same. It's like you guys are watching it and you're being entertained by having your minds blown, versus I'm like looking at oh wow, that was very funny. That move was done in a beautiful manner. Like that's really dexterity. And so I'm just looking at different things, but enjoying it just as much, if not more.
Roby, could you do a quick magic trick for us?
Sure. Disgusting or not disgusting?
You gotta
whatever. Yeah,
you gotta discuss it. This is audio and visual. Gotta discuss
whatever the audience will enjoy more.
Can you guys see this thread? Is it visible?
No. We can, but not see it. Barely.
Barely?
Okay. There you go.
You can kind of see the thread. I'm going to bunch it up. You can see it, yes?
Yes.
Yes, I see it in your hand, yes.
So, for those listening, he is chugging some water right now.
Wait, he put the thread in his mouth. Put the thread in his string in his mouth and is drinking water.
This is on the spot, too.
It's a long thread. Now I'm showing my mouth empty. The thing is, thread is almost scary to me. Like I said, I chew nails. When you chew nails, like it's like when I swallow them, I maintain them over here. And so I can almost feel the weight. But thread, I'm always scared that it's going to get tangled up in some way. Actually, I've got a doctor here. Like, I should be afraid from swallowing thread, right? Or not really? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know too much about that, but I wouldn't be swallowing thread.
Okay. Then let's see the thing. I'm going to try to do this. So let me pop the camera up. Again, I wish you guys were here because it's more fun as a medical doctor to do this. Coming down. Because I would have you, can you guys see? This is actually real skin. I wish you could check it out. But
I believe you.
Tell me.
Wait, are you pulling that out of your...
No, this dude did not just do that in front of our faces.
Hold on. So, ladies and gentlemen, this man has pulled this string of thread out of a hair follicle in his lower abdomen.
He swallowed thread.
And there's no blood. There's no nothing. There's no there's not fake skin. There's no rubber cement. None of that stuff.
How did you do this in front of our faces? Wow, I'm dumbfounded. That was amazing.
He's been on camera the entire time.
I know, that was amazing. Did you anticipate that we would ask you to do a trick?
The magician's always prepared.
There we go. I love it. Hey, so you understand Bryan with the abs.
He stays ready. Yeah. Doesn't have to get ready there.
We'll show you a little bit of this too if you want to.
What is that, a coin? What'd you just eat?
These are nails.
Oh, these are nails. Oh, wow. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, he's swallowing nails. Taking a little swig, swallowing nails.
They're not dissolving in the water.
I'm going to... Roby, you're 100% going on Bachelor in Paradise. I don't care who I got to talk to. You're going.
Make it happen.
I will. I don't know how. I'm nobody, but you are going.
He literally just swallowed nails, ladies and gentlemen.
Weird.
Wait.
Is that going to come out of your abdomen too?
No.
What are you doing? Oh, God, he's got a box of nails now.
I can't imagine being your parent as your
eating
kids
this like it's popcorn.
Uh-huh.
You went home way too soon.
This is what we missed on the show.
Come on. I'm mad at Gabby and Rachel now. Come on.
America missed out on this.
Okay, maybe not this part. This isn't the most sexual thing to look at.
Man has a mouthful of metal nails right now.
Yeah. Now, is that alkaline water? Is that spring water? Is the water matter?
It doesn't matter at this point. It doesn't matter. He's gargling the nails.
We've never had someone gargle while talking it out.
So that's alkaline water, actually. I have a filter for the sink that I set up.
It makes the nails go down better.
Yeah,
it does. It does. And I do. These are galvanized nails, so they don't rust, which is kind of good.
That's good.
All right. So where are the nails now? What happens to the nails?
They're here until I bring them up.
Oh, okay. No, we're gonna.
So you just regurgitate the nails?
Yeah.
No, I want to leave them there. And I want to continue with the pod in the episode, and then we're just randomly going to say, "Hey, nails."
Well, no, it happens. I sometimes they just keep coming back. Right? You don't. It's like it settles. It's like a cough. From now on, it's actually I don't have full control when they come up. It's just more like I feel them. Like, oh, it's bothering me. It's got to come up.
Fair. I'm glad that you do that. So glad that you do that. How many nails did you just swallow?
That was a good 20 nails, I feel like.
Like rough. Yeah.
More?
I wasn't counting, It's just more shoving them in. It's like if I were to ask you how many Skittles did you eat? You don't know. Once you start, you don't stop.
My man Roby just compared eating nails to eating Skittles.
Yeah. Well, again, imagine that though. And again, you guys aren't here in person, but imagine me being there in the Bachelor Mansion with all the dudes and just doing this, That would have been those reactions.
Oh, you would have been my roommate. You would have been my roommate for sure on the show. So, Roby, what's next for you, man? Well, we just have to know. You're so fascinating.
Oh, thank you. I'm performing nonstop. I'm in LA doing shows, private events, corporate events. That's my job. That's my life. I'm still looking for love. I'm still single. So, at Roby Sobieski on Instagram, send in the DMs.
If you were to go on Paradise, I mean, obviously the season isn't done airing yet, but I mean, from everybody that you've seen in Bachelor Nation, would you go for somebody on Bachelor in Paradise in particular? Or anybody you like to get to know a little bit better?
I'm very I don't think I've met somebody until I've had that chat, and again, there's a lot of beautiful, intelligent, fascinating women out there, but we'll see what happens. We'll see if I get brought back. I was, so speaking of I forget her name, but I thought the Harvard medical doctor was super beautiful. She was the one, Kira. Yeah.
Yes.
That she came out or whatever. I'm like, she came out in London. I'm like, okay, you look good, Kira, and whatever. I'm like, and she did not stay on her season long enough. I'm like, this girl is a Harvard doctor who looks like that, and you're sending her home.
Princeton magician, Harvard doctor. Hey, listen, you never know.
I might need somebody to save me from eating these nails,
Talking about that, can you take out the nails now?
It comes back little by little. It's not going to be the full thing.
So it's a slow regurgitation. Do those not stab your esophagus?
A little bit, right? I can only get the first layer back up as well, on TV, because the second layer is going to get a little bit more bile on it, and so I'm not going to do that. So you're only going to get the first layer of nails coming up.
Wow,
this is fascinating.
That's crazy.
Well, Roby, while you have nails stuck in your mouth, there's a little segment we do on Talking It Out called, it's just dropping gems. I would love for you to. What's your best gem that you have for us and our audience today?
It's I lost somebody important to me during the pandemic, and I think about that person often. He's a wonderful man. His name was Captain, and I heard something which was everybody dies twice. The first time you die is when you physically die, and the second time you die is the last time somebody stops talking about you. And so, even now, by talking about him, he's still kind of alive a little bit. And I think that's an important thing to know. When you lose someone, just keep them in your hearts, keep them in your minds, and never stop like saying stories, because that's
Love that.
a powerful way for people to stay alive.
I appreciate that. Thank you for saying that.
I appreciate you for saying that. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm on the bandwagon to petition for you to be on Paradise.
Justice for Roby.
Like, seriously,
justice for Roby. Justice. Well, I gotta say, I like Magic King. That's the title that I'm liking. Justice for the Magic King. I'm like, that's kind of like, I kind of like that. That's kind of, I did not create that, but it's. I'm like, okay, that's kind of okay. I'll be the Magic King.
You need to get up on that trademark. Is what you need to do
today.
Magic King.
Like after this episode.
Like right, it's happening right now. Side note, speaking of, oh my God, the DMs I'm already getting though are like hilarious.
Really? Indulge us. Indulge us with these DMs.
Well, I assume that everybody kind of gets the thirsty DMs, and so there's only like, we're probably saying the same stuff. But because I'm a magician, I'm getting all these like weird, like kind of magic DMs, and it's kind of really funny. It's like usually people expect the like guys to send the messages, but I'm getting like. Aloha Mara, like, I hope you like Harry Potter because I want you to open my legs, you know, like, and I'm like, okay. One was, what was the other one? I want you to break all my bones and then wear me like the magic hats. And I'm like, I don't, what am I supposed to do with like a boneless hat? But you know,
I don't even know how to respond to that one.
No.
Damn.
Oh man. Well,
what
the DMs are popping. The DMs are.
I bet you could make my clothing disappear. Blah blah blah. So it's kind of it is very entertaining.
Bet you can make my clothing disappear. Shout out your IG right quick so they can find you.
It's Roby, Roby. So B as in boy, Y. Sobieski. S as in Sam. O as in octopus. B as in boy. I as in India. E as in echo. S as in Sam. K as in king. Magic King. I as in India. If you just type Roby, so it's usually enough. I'll be there in like the black and white picture hanging out.
Love that, man.
I foresee absolutely fascinating, magical future in your life. Magical.
Yeah, I could see you on like a big stage, huge crowd, like yes, running your own show, that. You're the solo final act.
I'm gonna be honest though. Big stage, big crowd, those are fun. I do them, like, you know, like there's literally a cut a person in half, like boxed over there. But it's I prefer the close-up stuff because, you know, when you're on stage and you're watching a stage show, what's your thought? The box is tricked, you know, like they have identical twins, you know, like maybe I can get the twins to help me out, et cetera, et cetera. But when you're holding on to something, when you're holding on to the deck of cards and it changes into a crystal box and you've been holding it that entire time, to me, that's more powerful, you know, because it's like we live in a world where, you know, like it's just people don't believe in magic anymore. Honestly, I don't believe in magic. I'm a very logical person, you know.
Can you take a nail out? But, oh my God, this is crazy.
Right? So I don't believe in it myself, but
literally just having a conversation and a nail comes out of his mouth from deep down his chest cavity.
But yeah, I just, especially when you're up close and that thing happens, it's my moment. It's a chance for me to get people to feel like they're children again. You know,
yes.
I was a child that when I was 8, people were like, when do you want to grow up? Like, what do you want to do when you're an adult? And I'm like, I don't want to grow up. Like, I got it good. I don't pay taxes. You know, all I get, like, my work is going to school. So I'm just like, my life is learning. That's amazing. You know, I hang out with my friends. I play soccer. You know, I think that we all like should remember those moments because that's really what's beautiful. It's just, you know, like enjoying life for what it is. And I'm lucky enough that I have a job where I get to kind of break the mundane for even that little 1 minute where suddenly reality isn't quite what it seems. Gravity isn't quite what you remembered, you know? And I get to give immense joy and pleasure from that. And that's very pleasurable for me as well to kind of get to share that experience.
Roby, I'm speaking this to existence now. When we do a tour, a Talking It Out tour, you have to be there. Like,
I'd love to be there.
But thank you so much for being here today on Talking It Out. I think that you were truly freaking magical. And I can't wait to see you on Bachelor in Paradise.
There's another nail.
There's another the Bachelorette. Who knows? I just want to stick around. I feel like I only got to share the tip of the iceberg, and there's a lot more. And I appreciate you guys giving me the time to talk and kind of show a bit more of myself. And you just both seem like genuine, sweet, kind, intelligent dudes. And I just had a blast. So thank you so much.
Appreciate you coming on, man.
I'm sure there will be way more opportunities for you to speak in your near future.
Perfect.
Bryan, how did you feel about having Roby on?
Oh, man. He's an interesting dude, man. I mean, we talked about his time on The Bachelorette, but then he did these magic tricks, man. He was literally swallowing nails. Swallowing nails.
Yes, my man genuinely were swallowing nails. And then he on cue could take them out.
Yeah, just spits them out. Like regurgitates them, spits them out. He took the string out of his hair follicle and his lower abdomen. That was insane. Very interesting guy. Seems very cultured, smart guy. And yeah, man, I think America missed out.
I'd agree. He needs more. I wish the girls would have gave him,
maybe a couple more weeks at least, right?
But I say that, but at the same time, it's all about like that connection, right?
Yeah,
be a great, phenomenal human being, just not for the two of them. So
absolutely.
I just want to say that I want to see the magic when it comes to the sparks flying, when it comes to the love in the air, the magic in the air, when it comes to Bachelor in Paradise with Roby next summer.
Absolutely. Who knows? Maybe he'll slide into Katie's DMs. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see.
Definitely so. We'll see. Can't wait for it, though.
Oh, man. Great interview with Roby. And to all of our listeners, thank you so much for tuning in to today's episode. And don't forget, guys, you can watch the new episodes coming out weekly of The Bachelorette every single Monday at 8 p.m. on ABC or Hulu.
You always know we love to hear your opinions, your stories, your insights. Even if you have some magic tricks as well, let us know. So please don't forget to like, comment, follow. Message us on social at Talking It Out, B as in Bachelor, N as in Nation on IG. And as always, just don't forget to subscribe to our podcast. Listen to some Odyssey app or read your podcast. And baby, don't DM me no more until you hit that subscribe. We love y'all. See y'all next week.